Most people spend their lives chasing shadows, trying to be what others expect, copying what others do, living for likes, applause, and validation. But hear me today, you were not born to be a copy. You were born to manifest what God uniquely planted inside you. The greatest tragedy in life is not death. It's losing focus and never discovering what's already inside of you. What's in you is not random. It's a divine seed, but if you keep looking at others, you'll miss the garden that God planted in your own soul. You are a seed. Not a mistake, you are a seed. Not a mistake. That's not just a phrase, that's a truth about your very existence. Everything about you, your gifts, your pain, your past, your potential, was planted by divine design. A seed doesn't look like much when you hold it in your hand. It's small, dry, unimpressive. But inside that tiny seed lies forests, fruit, and generations of life waiting to happen. When you look at yourself and see only limits, heaven sees a harvest. The question is, do you have the patience and faith to stay buried long enough for greatness to grow? When a farmer plants a seed, he doesn't panic when he doesn't see results the next day. He understands that growth begins in darkness. Some of you are in that dark season right now. The job isn't working out. The vision feels blurry. The people you trusted walked away. You're asking, why does it feel like I'm buried? But you're not buried, you're planted. The same soil that covers you is the environment God uses to transform you. Every challenge is fertilizer for your potential. Every delay is water for your roots. Every rejection is pruning for your future fruit. When you're planted, you go down before you come up. You decrease before you increase. You disappear before you reappear. That's how destiny works. When the seed is in the soil, it doesn't complain, it doesn't compare, it just grows silently. And that's what you need to do. Grow quietly. Work on yourself when no one is watching. Develop your gift when nobody is clapping. Keep pushing when nobody believes. You don't need public validation for private preparation. You see, the seed doesn't need applause to sprout, it needs consistency. Some of you stop because nobody notices your effort. You post your dream, no one likes it. You share your vision, nobody supports it. And so you give up. But success doesn't grow in shallow soil, it grows in persistence. Every single day you water your dream by showing up, by learning, by forgiving, by staying faithful. You're proving that you're not a mistake. You're proving that you understand your assignment. Look around at the world. The tallest trees started as invisible seeds. They faced storms, drops, winds, and still kept growing. They didn't run from the rain, they used it. In life, you will have seasons of rain, criticism, disappointment, loneliness. But those are the very seasons that push your roots deeper. A tree that grows fast without strong roots will fall when the storm hits. But the seed that stays hidden and builds in silence, when it finally rises, nothing can break it. Sometimes God hides you to protect you. You may look at others succeeding and wonder, why not me? But maybe God is saying, if I expose you now, you'll collapse under the weight of what's coming. Growth without grounding is dangerous. The delay is not denial, it's development. Just because the world can't see your progress doesn't mean you're not progressing. Some growth happens under the surface. When a baby is in the womb, nobody sees it, but that doesn't mean nothing's happening. The seed in you is forming its structure before it shows its strength. Don't compare your season of planting to someone else's season of harvest. They might be reaping now because they endured the soil before you. Your time will come. But if you pull yourself out of the ground because you're tired of waiting, you kill what God was nurturing. Impatience is the enemy of potential. Everything worthwhile takes time. You don't rush a rose to bloom. You don't shout at the seed to sprout. You just keep watering, keep believing, keep trusting that the same God who planted you knows exactly when to bring you into the light. When you look at your life and see confusion, when you can't see the plan, remember, seeds don't need to understand the soil to grow. You don't need all the answers to move forward. You just need faith. Faith is not knowing how it will happen, but believing that it will. You were created with something unique inside of you, and that uniqueness is your power. Stop trying to be like someone else. The apple seed doesn't envy the orange tree, it just becomes what it's meant to be. If you keep imitating others, you'll suffocate your originality. The reason many people feel empty is because they abandoned what's authentic. They've traded purpose for popularity, but popularity fades, purpose fulfills. Don't waste your life chasing applause. Chase alignment. The moment you start walking in who you truly are, the right people, the right opportunities, the right blessings will start aligning with your path. But it starts with focus. You can't grow if you're always distracted by what everyone else is doing. Think about it. When you plant a seed in the ground, you don't dig it up every hour to check its progress. That would destroy it. Yet that's exactly what many people do with their dreams. They keep second-guessing, overanalyzing, doubting, and restarting. Stop digging up what God is developing. Trust the process. Protect your peace. Stay planted in faith. Even if nobody understands your journey right now, one day they will see your fruit and realize it was worth it all along. You are a seed. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. The world may not recognize you yet, but your potential is undeniable. There is greatness locked inside you, waiting for the right conditions to burst forth. When the time is right, when the soil is ready, when your roots are deep enough, you won't have to announce yourself. Your fruit will speak for you. So stay buried, stay patient, stay faithful. You're not a mistake. You're a masterpiece under construction, growing quietly into the destiny that was planted within you long before the world ever saw you. Distractions are destiny killers. Distractions are destiny killers. Most people think failure comes from lack of talent, but the truth is, more dreams die from distraction than from incompetence. You can have all the potential in the world, but if your focus is divided, your destiny will dissolve right before your eyes. Every time you get close to a breakthrough, something or someone shows up to pull your attention away from what truly matters. That's not coincidence. It's strategy. Because if the enemy can't destroy you, he'll simply distract you until you destroy yourself. Think about how easy it is to lose focus today. You wake up in the morning ready to conquer the day, but before you even get out of bed, your phone steals your mind. Notifications, messages, news, trends, all designed to keep you busy but not productive. You tell yourself you'll scroll for 5 minutes, and suddenly an hour disappears. You plan to spend time thinking, reading, building, creating, but now your energy is scattered. Distraction doesn't always come as something evil. It often disguises itself as something entertaining, something urgent, something harmless. But distraction doesn't need to look dangerous to be deadly. It just needs to keep you occupied long enough to make you forget your mission. You see, destiny demands direction. You can't move forward if your eyes are everywhere. Imagine a driver on the highway, constantly turning their head to look at other cars. How long before they crash? That's exactly how many people live. Always looking at what others are doing, comparing their pace, competing for validation. You can't walk your lane while staring at someone else's journey. When you focus on others, you lose your rhythm. Every minute spent comparing is a minute stolen from your own calling. Some of you are frustrated not because you lack progress, but because you're measuring your purpose by someone else's timeline. You've got to learn the power of shutting out the noise. Not everything deserves your attention. Not every argument deserves your energy. Not every opportunity is meant for you. Distraction often looks like something good that comes at the wrong time. The devil won't always tempt you with failure. Sometimes he'll tempt you with options. Because he knows if he can't make you sin, he can make you busy. Busyness without direction is still emptiness. You can be moving fast and still going nowhere. The question isn't how much you're doing. The question is what you're doing connected to your destiny? Take the story of an athlete. The best ones train when no one's watching. They sacrifice sleep, parties, and comfort because they know 1 second of distraction can cost them the gold. You can't win if you keep looking at the crowd. The crowd cheers one day and forgets you the next. Focus isn't glamorous, it's gritty. It means saying no to everything that dilutes your potential. It means cutting off conversations that drain your fire. It means ignoring applause when it pulls you away from your purpose. Some of the distractions in your life aren't just random, they're tests. They're designed to see if you can stay committed to your vision, even when the world offers you shortcuts. Every successful person you admire had to master the art of focus. They learned to isolate their purpose from the noise. They understood that growth requires boundaries. You can't plant a tree in a traffic jam. It needs stillness. Your destiny needs that same stillness. You can't keep checking everyone's opinion and expect clarity from God. Some of you can't hear divine direction because you're tuned into too many frequencies. Opinions of friends, pressure from family, fear of failure, desire for approval. You can't hear the whisper of destiny in a room full of noise. Sometimes distraction comes dressed as people you love. Friends who mean well but speak doubt into your dream. Family who tells you to be realistic when your spirit is screaming for more. You don't have to hate them. Just don't let their fear become your focus. Everyone won't understand your calling because it wasn't given to them. What distracts others may destroy you if you let it. Protect your purpose like it's treasure, because it is. You can recover lost time, lost money, even lost relationships. But once you lose focus, you lose momentum, and momentum is what carries you into your destiny. Distraction doesn't always scream. Sometimes it whispers. It tells you, you have time. It says, you can do it tomorrow. It lulls you into procrastination, convincing you that delay is harmless. But every delay eats away at your destiny. Every day you postpone your purpose, your dream loses oxygen. Don't wait until the pain of regret replaces the discomfort of discipline. Focus now while the seed is still alive. You don't have to have it all figured out. Just don't let go of what you've already started. Look at your phone, your habits, your environment. What's stealing your focus? What's robbing your attention from what truly matters? It's not always the big thing. Sometimes it's subtle. A 5-minute distraction can cause a 5-year delay if you don't manage it. Discipline is the wall that protects destiny from distraction. You build that wall by saying no to gossip, no to comparison, no to wasting energy on things that don't multiply your purpose. Focus is a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger it becomes. It's not about perfection, it's about alignment. Every day you decide where your attention goes, you decide the future you'll live. Your destiny doesn't need more time, it needs more focus. The enemy can't stop what's planted in you, but he'll try to make you look everywhere else so you never water it. You can't grow what you don't feed, so feed your purpose. Starve your distractions. And remember, even a small leak can sink a great ship if it's not sealed. Keep your mind guarded, your eyes forward, and your heart fixed on what truly matters. What God planted in you needs discipline to grow. What God planted in you needs discipline to grow. Every dream, every gift, every talent inside you is a divine seed. But even the best seed cannot grow without structure, without care, without consistency. Some people pray for success, but they ignore the process that creates it. God can give you the vision, but he won't do the discipline for you. You can't just wish for greatness. You must work for it daily. The difference between those who succeed and those who stay the same is not potential. It's discipline. Everyone has potential, but only the disciplined make it visible. Think of a seed. If it's not watered, if it's not exposed to sunlight, if it's not protected from weeds, it dies. Not because it wasn't powerful, but because it wasn't cared for. The same is true with the dream inside of you. It doesn't matter how many times you talk about it, post about it, or plan for it. If you don't nurture it through daily discipline, it will wither away. The gift God gave you is not self-sustaining. It requires your partnership. You are the gardener of what heaven has planted within. Discipline is doing what you should do even when you don't feel like it. It's waking up early to pray, study, or build when your body wants to sleep. It's saying no to comfort because you're chasing calling. It's sacrificing temporary pleasure for permanent purpose. Success is not found in moments of excitement, but in moments of repetition. Discipline isn't glamorous. It's quiet, consistent, and sometimes lonely. But it's in those private moments that your roots grow deep enough to handle the weight of future blessings. You can't be casual with your calling. You can't treat your purpose like a hobby and expect it to pay like a career. The world respects excellence, and excellence is born from discipline. Every expert you admire, athletes, musicians, entrepreneurs, leaders, they all have one thing in common: they mastered the mundane. They repeated the same practice over and over until their talent became skill and their skill became legacy. Talent opens doors, but discipline keeps them open. Look at a student preparing for exams. The ones who succeed aren't necessarily smarter, they're more disciplined. While others sleep, they study. While others complain, they concentrate. They understand that what they do in secret determines what they experience in public. Life rewards those who respect the process. The dream doesn't grow because you want it. It grows because you're consistent. Many people want the fruit, but they don't want the fight. They want the reward, but not the routine. But nothing in nature grows overnight. A farmer doesn't plant a seed today and harvest tomorrow. He waters it, watches over it, protects it from pests, removes weeds daily. That's discipline. The same way, God gave you a vision, but He expects you to cultivate it. Every day you neglect your discipline, you delay your destiny. Discipline is not punishment, it's preparation. The world tells you to follow your feelings, but discipline says follow your focus. Feelings are temporary, focus is eternal. If you only move when you feel motivated, you'll never be consistent. Motivation gets you started, but discipline keeps you going. Every great person you see has had days when they didn't feel like showing up, but they did anyway. The secret to greatness is not found in inspiration, but in persistence. Imagine a musician who refuses to practice. His instrument collects dust, and when it's time to perform, he has no sound. That's how undisciplined people live. They wait for opportunities they're not prepared to handle. God will never give you what you're not ready to manage. Discipline proves you're serious about your purpose. When you're faithful with the little, time, energy, skill, God trusts you with the much. You can't pray for a platform while neglecting preparation. Discipline also means control. You can't grow what you can't govern. If your emotions rule you, your potential will betray you. The seed in you will demand seasons of silence, seasons of solitude, seasons of sacrifice. There will be times when your friends are celebrating and you're working. Times when nobody understands your focus. Times when you question if it's worth it. But every moment of discipline builds strength. Every no to distraction is a yes to destiny. Every sacrifice becomes a seed of future success. People often say, I'll start when I have more time. But time doesn't create discipline. Discipline creates time. The more structured you become, the more productive you are. Discipline is not about working harder. It's about working smarter. It's not about doing everything. It's about doing what matters. It's saying, I refuse to waste my energy on things that don't grow me. It's managing your thoughts, your habits, your words, because your future depends on what you do daily, not occasionally. Even in spiritual growth, discipline is the bridge between revelation and transformation. You can hear 100 sermons, read 1,000 quotes, but without application, nothing changes. God gives wisdom, but discipline turns wisdom into results. Every time you act on what you know, your inner seed grows stronger. The disciplined person doesn't just talk about purpose. They become it. There's a reason why many start strong, but few finish well. It's not because they weren't chosen, but because they couldn't stay committed. Dreams die not from lack of power, but from lack of persistence. You don't need more opportunities, you need more consistency. You don't need another miracle. You need management. You don't need everyone to believe in you. You need to believe enough to stay disciplined when no one's watching. Discipline is the proof that you value what God gave you. If you truly believe He planted something powerful in you, you won't treat it carelessly. You'll guard it, feed it, and fight for it every single day. Your discipline is your declaration that you refuse to waste divine investment. Every great destiny has been watered by the tears of discipline. Those early mornings, long nights, moments of loneliness, and sacrifices that nobody saw. That's the price of greatness. And the ones who pay it are the ones who see the seed within them become something extraordinary. Stay rooted in purpose. Not approval, stay rooted in purpose, not in approval. One of the greatest traps in life is the need to be liked, the hunger for validation, the constant craving to hear others say you're doing well. But when you live for approval, you surrender your purpose. You start adjusting your vision to please people who don't even understand your assignment. You start watering yourself down to fit into spaces that were never meant to contain your full potential. You start trading authenticity for acceptance. And in the process, you lose the very essence of who you were created to be. There comes a moment in every person's journey when you must choose between applause and alignment. Because the truth is, the same people who cheer for you today might turn away tomorrow. Approval is temporary, purpose is eternal. If you anchor your identity to people's opinions, your mood will rise and fall with their reactions. You'll spend your life editing yourself, trying to be everything for everyone, while quietly dying inside because you've abandoned what makes you unique. Think about a tree. It doesn't chase the wind, it stays rooted. It doesn't move every time the weather changes. Storms come, seasons shift, leaves fall, but the tree stands because its strength is underground. That's what being rooted in purpose looks like. You're not moved by gossip, rejection, or misunderstanding. You're grounded in something deeper than people's approval. You don't seek validation from the surface because your value is anchored beneath it. The problem is that we've been trained to perform. We measure our worth by likes, followers, compliments, and comments. We've turned our lives into auditions, hoping someone will clap loud enough to convince us that we matter. But purpose doesn't need applause, it needs authenticity. You don't need the world to agree with your calling for it to be real. If God planted it, it's already valid. Stop explaining yourself to those who are not assigned to your journey. Some people can't see your vision because it wasn't shown to them. Look at daily life. A young artist posts her work online, excited and proud. But when it doesn't get the attention she hoped for, she starts doubting her gift. A student changes his dream major because his friends laughed at his choice. A business owner abandons her idea because someone called it unrealistic. These are not just decisions, they're distractions. Every time you shift for approval, you uproot your purpose. You stop growing in your original soil and try to transplant yourself into environments that were never meant to nourish your destiny. You must remember, purpose is personal. It won't always make sense to others. People will criticize what they don't understand. They will label your confidence as arrogance, your vision as madness, your faith as foolishness. But that's okay. You're not responsible for their comprehension. You're responsible for your commitment. You can't allow someone's confusion to become your cage. Stay focused on the work, not the whispers. The seed doesn't stop growing because the forest doesn't notice. Sometimes approval addiction is subtle. It looks like saying yes when you want to say no. It looks like overcommitting to keep peace with people who don't even value your time. It looks like shrinking your light so others don't feel intimidated by your fire. But you were not created to fit in. You were created to stand out. Every time you compromise your truth to make others comfortable, you disconnect from your calling. You cannot walk in power and people pleasing at the same time. Purpose often requires isolation. There are seasons when you'll walk alone, misunderstood, even mocked. That's not punishment, it's pruning. When a tree is pruned, branches are cut off not because they're useless, but because they're blocking growth. Sometimes God removes people, opportunities, and platforms that were feeding your ego but starving your purpose. The silence you fear is often the soil where your strength develops. Think of the eagle. When the storm comes, it doesn't run or hide, it flies higher. The wind that breaks others lifts the eagle. The higher you go in purpose, the fewer voices you'll hear, and that's by design. At altitude, air gets thinner, and so does noise. Approval is loud, but purpose is quiet. You don't need everyone to see you. You need to see clearly who you are and why you're here. You must learn to applaud yourself in private, to wake up every day and affirm your mission, even when nobody acknowledges it, to do your work with excellence, even when no one is watching. Because one day, the same people who ignored you will study how you stayed grounded when they drifted. Stay rooted. Don't let temporary applause distract you from eternal assignment. Don't let social approval rob you of spiritual alignment. When a tree grows deep roots, it survives droughts that destroy others. That's what happens when you grow in purpose. Life will test you. Criticism, betrayal, loneliness, failure. But if your roots are deep enough, you'll bend without breaking. Approval can be taken away, but purpose can't. Approval fades, but purpose feeds. You may lose followers, but never lose focus. You may lose friends, but never lose faith. Approval seeks to be seen. Purpose seeks to serve. Approval is about image. Purpose is about impact. There will always be people who don't like you, who misunderstand you, who talk behind your back. Let them. You weren't called to convince them. You were called to continue. Every second spent defending yourself is a second stolen from developing yourself. Don't let opinions become obstacles. Let your results speak. The tree doesn't argue with those who doubt it, it just keeps growing. Be anchored like that. Be unshakable in your identity. Because when you are rooted in purpose, storms don't scare you, they strengthen you. You stop reacting to approval and rejection the same way, because neither defines you. What defines you is the unshakable truth that you were planted for a reason, designed for a season, and destined for something bigger than applause. There comes a moment when you must decide no more chasing shadows, no more seeking permission to shine, no more apologizing for the fire burning inside you. The time has come to rise, to step fully into who you were created to be, and to protect the seed of purpose God planted within you with everything you have. Because your destiny is not waiting for approval, it's waiting for action. Life doesn't reward those who sit and hope, it rewards those who stand and build. You've spent too much time dimming your light to make others comfortable. You've been waiting for the right people, the right moment, the right conditions. But greatness is never born in comfort. It's born in chaos, in rejection, in resistance. Diamonds are made under pressure. Gold is purified in fire. If life has been testing you, it's not trying to break you. It's refining you. You are being shaped into something rare, something unshakable, something powerful. The storm isn't proof that God left you, and you're proof that there's something worth protecting inside you. You've got to stop asking people who've never built anything to approve the blueprint of your destiny. Stop looking for validation from those who have never seen your vision. You are not here to be understood. You're here to be undeniable. People may doubt you, ignore you, or misunderstand you, but their opinions do not determine your outcome. History was never changed by those who blended in. It was changed by those who stood out. The world doesn't remember the ones who followed the noise. It remembers the ones who followed their purpose. Every champion once fought battles in silence. Every giant once stood in the shadows, waiting for the right moment to rise. Every legend had a season of obscurity. Don't despise your quiet season. That's where power grows. You may not have the spotlight yet, but you have something better, the substance. The world can't see your roots, but your roots are what hold you up when storms hit. Stay grounded, stay consistent, stay patient, because everything you're praying for is already in motion. Your destiny doesn't respond to fear, it responds to focus. You can't conquer what you won't confront. Stop running from your purpose just because it feels uncomfortable. Growth always demands discomfort. You can't climb mountains with your hands in your pockets. You've got to be willing to sweat, to sacrifice, to stretch beyond what feels safe. Pain is the language of progress. Every time you choose discipline over distraction, every time you choose faith over fear, every time you choose focus over approval, you grow another inch closer to your destiny. Don't just exist, elevate. Don't just dream, do. Don't just talk about what you could become it. Because somewhere, someone is waiting for the version of you that fully believes. You are not behind, you are in process. You are not forgotten, you are being formed. Every delay, every disappointment, every detour, it's all part of your development. You are being prepared for a stage that requires a stronger version of you. The truth is, there will never be a perfect moment. The stars won't align. The path won't always be clear. But destiny favors the bold. Purpose belongs to the persistent. You can't wait for opportunities. You create them. You can't wait for permission. You claim it. The future is built by those who dare to focus when the world is distracted. You've got something powerful inside you, something divine, something eternal. Don't die with it still locked inside. Don't let fear of failure silence the sound of your potential. You are the author of your story, so write it in bold letters. There's a fire that can't be taught. It can only be awakened. That fire is purpose. It's the voice that whispers, "You were made for more." It's the energy that refuses to let you settle. You can't outrun it. You can't ignore it. You can only embrace it. Let the world chase fame. You chase fulfillment. Let them seek comfort. You seek calling. Let them follow trends. You follow truth. Because when you live from purpose, you no longer chase success. Success starts chasing you. Stand tall. Speak boldly. Move intentionally. You were not born to live unnoticed. You were born to leave a mark. The world doesn't need another copy. It needs the original you. The seed of greatness is already inside. Protect it, nurture it, and let it grow into the destiny you were designed to live. Because when you focus on what God planted in you, you don't just change your life. You inspire others to find the courage to change theirs. And that is the moment when purpose becomes power and destiny becomes reality.